Hello everybody, welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I am Kim. Today's practice will be a short, gentle practice with no inversions. So we will keep ourselves upright, no tipping the head down below the heart. In the case of any sort of health issues, acid reflux, sinus issues, pressure in the eyes or retinal issues, times like that you may not want to invert. So you can actually practice yoga without inversions, and that's what we'll do today. So bring yourself to your mat and find a comfortable seated position. I am sitting up on a blanket, so you can feel free to do the same if you like, or sit up on a block. You want to bring yourself into a nice upright alignment of your spine. Notice what's happening in your pelvis. You want the pelvis to be rolling back and rounding out through that low back or tilting too far forward. So you want to find this neutral state of your pelvis. If you imagine the pelvis as a bowl of water, the bowl is filled with water. If you tip it too far, water will spill out the front. If you tip it too far back, water will spill out the back. So you want to keep that imaginary water inside the bowl of the pelvis. So find that neutral pelvis, root down through your sitting bones, through your pubic bone, lengthen through the side body, find some space in between the ribs, and reach the crown of the head up. And you can have shins crossed or soles of the feet together or legs wide, or if you prefer, you could even come to sit on the heels with the knees bent. So take whatever seated position feels right for you right now. And then if it feels okay for you, you can close your eyes or just find a soft and steady gaze. We'll take a few moments here just to arrive, shed off the rest of your day, let go of where you're coming from. No need to worry about where you're going after this practice. Just allow yourself to be present in this moment, taking this time for yourself, for your yoga practice, giving yourself a little attention, a little time, little tender, loving care. As always, I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself as you move through this practice. And if you choose, carry that intention out into the world with you. Begin to check in, take stock, just getting curious about how you're feeling today in your body and your mind. What does your energy feel like today? No judgment, just bring in that playful sense of curiosity. Honor yourself, honor where you are today, whatever that is. Begin to check in with your breath. Notice how your breath feels. Deep, smooth, and steady. Maybe a little shorter, more shallow. And take a deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, let the breath out of your mouth, sigh it out. Another deep breath in through the nose. Draw the breath all the way down into the belly. Fill the belly, front to back, side to sides. And with the exhalation, release the breath from the belly, out through the mouth. Sigh it out. One more deep clearing breath like that, in through the nose. And sigh it out of your mouth. Come back to your natural breath. Begin to flicker the eyes open. Let's bring palms together at the heart. Press the finger pads together, palms together. And then keep finger pads together, but pull the palms apart. Reach the arms up overhead. Sphere mudra. Feel the lift through the side body. Lift up through the back body. Fingers reaching up. Nice, long, tall spine. And then we'll take a little baby twist over to the right, and as you do, release the hands down. Take the left hand to that right knee, right hand around behind you underneath your shoulder. And then we'll inhale, reach the arms back up, finger pads come together overhead. As you exhale, little baby twist over to the left now. Right hand comes down to that left knee or thigh. Left hand reaches around behind you. Deep breath in, bring it back to center. Finger pads coming back together overhead. As you exhale, little baby twist over to the right again. Hands come back down. Inhale, let's bring it back to center. Arms lift. Exhale, little baby twist over to the left. Let's do it one more time. Bring it back to center. Spin your heart over to the right. Hands release down. And then bring it back to center. Finger pads come back together overhead. And then as you exhale, little spin over to the left. Let's bring it back to center. Finger pads back up overhead. Now palms together, hands come back down to the heart. Release the hands down. Let's take the soles of the feet together now. Press the toes into each other, heels into each other, knees are wide. Take your fingers around behind you, underneath the shoulders. Press into the finger pads. Lengthen up through the spine. Crown of the head reaches up. And then we'll take hands underneath the thighs. Extend your legs out wide to the sides, coming into Upavishta Konasana. Toes, knees pointing up. Take fingers behind you again, underneath shoulders. Press down into the fingers, down into the heels. Sit up nice and tall. And then we'll keep the left leg as it is. Let's bend that right knee, draw that right foot, sole of that right foot to that left inner thigh. Press down into the fingers, sit up tall, and little twist over to the right. We'll take that left hand over to that right knee or thigh and spin the heart around to the right. Bring yourself back to center. Left hand comes back behind you underneath that shoulder. Then we'll switch the legs out. Right leg moves out to the side, out wide. Sole of that left foot moves to that right inner thigh. Press down into the fingers, lengthen up through the spine, and then another little twist over to the left. Right hand moves to that left knee or thigh. Heart spins to the left. Bring yourself back to center, and now pick up the knees, drop the feet down to the floor, and then we'll wave the knees over to the right, bring the knees back through center, wave the knees over to the left, bring it back to center, wave knees over to the right, back to center, and you may find yourself sort of wiggling off of whatever you are sitting on. That's okay. Let's wiggle the knees back over to the right, and this time turn to face that right shin. Left hand comes back behind you again. Wiggle knees over to the left. Turn the heart to face left shin. And then bring yourself back to center. Soles of feet come back together. And we'll bring ourselves over to face long edge of the mat. You can move your blanket or whatever you're sitting on out of the way. We'll come up to stand on our knees, shins. Take the thumbs into the armpits, hug in through the inner thighs, root down through the knees, the shins, the tops of the feet. Draw in and up through the belly. Lift up through the sides of the body. Lift up through the heart. And maybe you shift your gaze up just a little bit. And then let's take hands around to low back, elbows hug in. You can have the fingers pointing down or up or out to the sides. Elbows draw in, lift up through the heart. And then we'll release the hands down. Hands come down to the mat, tuck the toes under behind you, and then roll yourself back up. Come up into this squat up onto balls of your feet. You can keep fingers down on the mat if you need it, or let's bring finger pads together in front of the heart, palms pulled wide, coming back into our sphere mudra. And then slowly begin to lower heels down to the mat. Press down into the heels and lift yourself all the way up to stand, reaching the arms up and overhead, still finding that sphere mudra. Rooting down through the feet, ball under the big toe, ball under the little toe, center of the heel, hug in through the inner thighs, lengthen up through that side waist. Fingers reaching up. And then we'll take hands down to the heart. Step yourself up towards the top of your mat. And now we'll root down into that left foot, step the right foot back. Starting with both legs straight-ish, and we'll take it into a warrior one. So right heel is angling back towards the back of the mat. We'll begin to bend that left knee, knee tracking over the ankle, left hip hugging back, right hip hugging forward. And then let's reach the arms up again, finger pads together, palms pulled wide, sphere mudra. And now straighten that front leg. And then bend the front knee. Straighten the front leg, bend that front knee. One more time, straighten that front leg. Bend that front knee, keep rooting down into that back heel. And then we'll release the hands down, arms come down along the sides. As you do that, take the weight into that left foot. Slide that right foot up and draw that knee up towards your chest. Slowly step that right foot back to the mat. Bend that left knee, bring it back into your warrior one. Fingers come back up into that sphere mudra. And then we'll open the arms, interlace fingers behind the back, big or little bend in the elbows. Maybe you bring the arms a little bit straighter, pull the hands off the back. Pressing into the feet, lifting up through the heart. Give yourself a little smile. And then release the hands. Step yourself back up top of the mat. Let's do the same thing on the other side. We'll step that left foot back. Right hip hugs back, left hip hugs forward, pressing down into the feet. We'll begin to bend that right knee, finding your warrior one on this side. Arms reach up, sphere mudra, finger pads come together. And now we'll straighten that right leg, bend that right knee, straighten right leg, bend that right knee. One more time, straighten right leg, bend that right knee. And then let's take the hands down, take the weight into that right foot, slowly draw that left knee up towards the chest. And then send that left foot back to the mat. Arms come back up, front knee bends, hips square off towards top of the mat. And then interlace fingers at that low back, bigger little bend in the elbows. Maybe you pull the hands off the back a little bit. And then release hands, step yourself up towards top of the mat. Let's do it again. Step right foot back. We'll take it back into warrior one. Bend that left knee, reach the arms up. Now we'll take the arms down, take the weight into that left foot, slide the right foot forward, draw that right knee up towards your chest. And now cross that right ankle in front of that left thigh. Figure four position, arms reach back up, finger pads come back together. Release the arms down, let's step that right foot back. Coming back through our warrior one, arms reach up, front knee bends. Release the arms down, step that right foot up. Other side, we'll step left foot back. We're down through that back heel, bend that front knee, find that warrior one. And then arms come down, weight into that front foot, slide the back foot up, knee draws up towards chest. And then we'll cross that left ankle in front of that right thigh. Finger pads together overhead. Release the arms down. Draw left knee back up towards chest and then step that left foot back. Bring it back into your warrior one, bending right knee, hugging that right hip back, rib cage moving up towards the top of the mat. Release the arms down, step yourself forward. Now let's turn to face long edge of the mat. Step your feet out wide. Starting with feet parallel-ish. We'll turn right toes towards top of your mat. Bend both knees, rock yourself side to side. And then we'll open into a warrior two. Rooting down through that right foot. Bend that right knee, root down into outer edge of that left foot. Press down into the feet and hug the feet in towards each other at the same time, isometrically. Open the arms wide. Find that smile again. Gaze over your front fingers. Shift your gaze, look over your back fingers. And release your arms down, straighten that right leg. We'll turn that foot in parallel-ish. Soften the knees, take it to the other side, turn left toes towards other end of your mat. Rock yourself back and forth. And then open it into a warrior two. Left knee bends, presses over towards pinky toe side of the foot. Arms reach wide. Smile. Gaze over front fingers. Shift your gaze, look over your back fingers. Shift your gaze over those front fingers again. And then release the arms down, straighten that left leg, turn that foot back in. Let's take the arms wide, five-pointed star. And then release the arms down. We'll turn the toes out, turn the heels in. Bend your knees, begin to lower yourself down. Knees moving out in the direction of the toes. Take hands to rest on the thighs. Rock yourself side to side. And then bring it to center. Hands pressing into the thighs. Turn and look over that right shoulder. Come back through center. Turn your gaze, look over left shoulder. Bring it back to center. Turn, look over that right shoulder again. Back to center. Turn, look over left shoulder. Bring it back to center. Sit it down a little bit deeper. Reach the arms up. Cactus the arms. Fingers reach up, elbows pull back, fingers pull back, back of the skull pulls back. And then press into the feet, straighten the legs, release the arms down, turn the feet back in parallel-ish, open the arms wide. Release the arms down, step your feet together. Let's turn to face the short end of the mat now. Reach the arms forward. Roll up onto balls of your feet. Find your drishti or focal point, gazing point on the wall or something in front of you. And then slowly begin to lower yourself back down into our squat. Release heels down to the mat. Slowly, slowly, slowly lower your bum. Boom, down to the mat. Extend the legs out in front of you. Take the fingers underneath the shoulders. Coming into staff pose. Have a bigger little bend in the knees here if you need it. Reach the arms up, find that sphere mudra. And then palms come down to hearts. Let's take soles of feet together, knees wide. Fingers underneath the shoulders, sit up nice and tall. And let's take the feet wide, again, legs wide, coming back through our Upavishta Konasana. Keeping left leg as it is, and spin that right knee, draw that right foot into that left inner thigh. Sit up tall, little spin over to the right. Bring it back through center, switch the legs, extend right leg out wide, left foot comes to that right inner thigh, sitting up nice and tall, and then a little baby spin to the left. Right hand can move towards that left knee or thigh. Bring it back to center. Let's take soles of feet back together again. And then shins crossed. Palms together at your heart. Thank you so much for sharing this short, gentle practice with me today. Hope it helped. With love and gratitude, namaste.